I have some excitement, everyone. Welcome to the Okie Woodsman channel. We just purchased the most technologically advanced chainsaw available in America. Do you have any guesses what it might be? In this video, I'm going to tell you why I purchased this saw, what I'm concerned with about this saw, and what other saws I was considering purchasing instead of this saw. All of my new OEM chainsaws come from sawsuppliers.com, and you can take advantage of great pricing using the discount code OKIE10, free shipping in the United States, and I don't think you'll be disappointed. Let's take a look at what I purchased. I don't think I could be more excited. I have taken a look in here, but I have not pulled the saw out. I'm saving that for the camera. I ordered this saw with a 32-inch steel light bar and a 28-inch Sugihara light bar as well. I've never owned a brand new steel chainsaw. In fact, the only steel chainsaw I've ever owned is this MS460. And that saw is considered a legend. Did I buy a modern day legend? Oh man. What a thing of beauty. This thing's light, but it could have been lighter. I did purchase it in the R configuration because I believe that this saw has the potential to be the most multi-purpose chainsaw in my entire arsenal. Not only is this the most technologically advanced chainsaw in America currently, but it's also one of the most expensive. On sawsuppliers.com, the only more expensive saw is the Husqvarna 3120. This 32-inch light bar is incredible. It is so light. We will be starting this saw up for the first time in this video, but first I want to talk to you about why I purchased it. Simply put, the 500i is the only chainsaw I've ever experienced a second gear in. Let me explain. The more I watch this saw run, the more I realize that there is a technique to running a 500i versus a standard carbureted saw. This saw really likes a load. I think it has something to do with the computer system and the fuel injection, and from my experience when I ran the muffler modded 500i at Rock Hill Farm, I experienced something I had never experienced before. When I put more pressure on that chain, that saw wanted to eat harder, and it was just like a turbocharger kicked in. It was incredible. And then it all changed here. Do you hear that? As I tugged up on the saw harder, I believe that the saw was getting more fuel and it really came alive. It was like an on and off switch. I just felt it. You can hear it here. The second reason I wanted a STIHL 500i is because it has the best power to weight ratio available. And the third reason I wanted the 500i is I just simply wanted it. Do I need it? No. I just really wanted it. I think it's the neatest saw available in the United States today. I think the fuel injection is incredible. And you know what's cool? Because of the fuel injection and the stop button, you don't have a backwards switch. I finally can run a STIHL and not be frustrated. Just kidding. No, in all honesty, I don't really like the backwards switch. But listen, when I run the 460, it's totally fine. You get used to putting the switch in reverse, but at the same time, every time I run something else, then I'm going backwards on that for a little while. I did mention I am going to start this saw up, but I do want to take some dry weights in its configuration right now, and then I also want to load up some fuel and oil in it, weigh it, and I also want to load up some fuel and oil in the 7310 that I had ported, and then we'll weigh that. I want to talk to you about the other saws I was considering when purchasing this 500i. I thought long and hard about it. In fact, I think long and hard almost about everything. I barely ever make a purchase without lots of research. I really want to stop talking because I really want to run this thing. In fact, I haven't even looked at it. Oh man. All right, let's make this quick so we can get it started. The saw that almost won out in this purchasing decision was a Husqvarna 592 XP. Some of the people that follow my channel are going to be very disappointed that I didn't buy a 592 XP. This saw, in my opinion, may be in lieu of a 592. I know it's not quite as powerful, but it is so much lighter that I think that I'm going to enjoy using it more, therefore making it a better tool and one that I'm likely to pick up more often. The other saw that I considered was an MS462. In reality, the MS462 would be a fantastic saw for me because I mentioned earlier the power to weight ratio. Most of the wood I cut most often doesn't need the power of a ported 70cc saw or an 80 or 90cc saw. However, I just wanted it, right? I already have a lot of saws in the 70cc class or a strong 60cc class. Why add another 70cc saw like the 462? It certainly would have been the lightest, but that saw just simply doesn't excite me. That doesn't mean it's not a great saw. And if you're wondering why a 661 was not in the running, it's because I have plenty of time on a 661 to know that I don't prefer running it. A few years ago, I had plenty of time running a 661, and it was a great saw, but it really isn't what I want to lug around working. At the time, I was on foot cutting a lot more, frankly, than I cut now, and in a more harsh environment. But that's also part of the reason why I did not buy a 592. There's a stinking wasp in here. Anyway, I got bug spray on my brand new saw. All right, it is a chainsaw, but it's an expensive chainsaw. All right, oh man, it's everywhere. At least I won't be flinching because of the wasps flying around. They land on me. They're ridiculous in here. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment if you haven't done so already. I want to take some weights before we run it for the first time. This is completely dry. We're at 14 pounds, 12 ounces. 14 pounds, 12 ounces. This is 40-to-1 Red Armor, ethanol free. That's as full as you can make her. What a gorgeous, gorgeous machine. Go ahead and put some oil in, and we'll make it as full as I can make her as well. I've actually never weighed a saw before full and after. Let's see what that made a difference. Oh wow, it does make a difference. Quite a bit. That's 16.9 pounds. That's a little more than I thought. You might be wondering why I'm going to compare it to the 7310, and that's because if you're new here, you wouldn't know, but I had this ported, and it's my suspicion that this saw will perform similarly to a stock 500i. We're not going to test that today. That'll come in the future. I've actually purchased two chainsaws that were ported to compete with a 500i. And again, we'll talk about that in another episode. Let's get this one as full as it can be. This is the same batch of fuel. I just split it up into this smaller can, and it's because that other can developed an actual leak in it up top. It's kind of a weird failure. But again, same batch of fuel. 40-to-1 Red Armor. Okay, that's as full as I can make it. I have a suspicion the 500i is going to be, I don't have a clue. I'm going to guess 2 pounds lighter. That's as full as it can be. Full 7310. 16.15 pounds. Wait a second. What did I just do? What the heck? Really? At first I was kind of surprised, but at second thought I shouldn't be so surprised because this does have the larger dogs on it and the additional wrap handle. I believe that's good for about a pound less had I just configured it stock. I didn't want that version. Oh, this is going to be good. Let's get the 32-inch bar mounted up on it and let's see if it'll start. This will be the first start on camera. While I'm barring this saw up, I want to talk to you about the concerns I have with it. First and foremost, I'm worried that I'm not going to like it because, well, it was really expensive. Hey, that answers a question for me. I always mount these on the inside, dog, but from the factory, Stihl mounts this to the outside. And just because we're going to mount this with an upside down bar first go around. This is STIHL RS and 105 drive lengths. I have a video coming out where I talk about how I may have a change of heart on this chain, and we'll see how that goes, but I'm still not exactly sure if that's going to be the case. What a beautiful, beautiful chain, beautiful saw. This is one of the most expensive things I've ever purchased, short of like a tractor or my MacBook Pro, stuff like that. This was a big deal, everyone. Beautiful. I do have to say, the steel bars and the steel saws, the chain seems to have the least amount of resistance out of anything I've ever experienced, and I've kind of always thought that, but I haven't owned my own modern steel, so I wasn't sure. But that is nice and smooth. Are you guys excited to see this start? I sure am. I just hope it starts. So another concern I have with this saw is, you know, I mentioned, will I be happy with it? What I mean is, will I be happy with it stock? Okay, so, you know, you can make any saw great. Like the 7310 is a nice tool, but from a power perspective, I wouldn't say that I was 100% thrilled with how it ran. Well, no, to be honest, it was pretty mediocre. I mean, it was strong, and I didn't give it time to break in, and I know that it will get stronger, but that saw was in desperate need of some help. I would say that the only concerns I have based on what other people have said online in forums and on channels is whether or not the suspension kit will be sufficient for what I like, and if the air cleaner setup's going to be good. And I kind of just want to leave it alone, honestly. That's one of the reasons why this saw is cool, is I think that I could probably leave it alone and have it be a good saw. You'll probably see a muffler mod at some point. I mean, an aftermarket muffler cover. But I really am not necessarily thinking right off the bat that this saw needs a whole bunch of aftermarket help. Chain's a little bit tighter because it's brand new, and it ought to get a little bit of a stretch. Let's see if the suspension kit feels floppy. A little bit. That bar, it is a 32. It's a light. But man, that thing feels good. I expect that I'm going to run this mostly with the 28-inch bar. But I've stated in other videos that I always buy the saws with the longest bar that you can get. Now, I could have ordered this with a 36, but I didn't want a 36 on it. I've already got a 3120 clone with a 36. All right. This is the moment I've been dying for. You can see that the purge bulb is completely empty. One. I'm going to pump it until it's full. Hard with the camera here. Okay, it's halfway full, and it looks like that's where it's staying. 79 cc. You can see right there, I have not pulled on the handle at all. I don't have a clue how it's going to run. I'm going to set my camera up so you can see how this goes. All right. There's no on switch because, well, this is a fuel injected saw. It's ready to go. Let's see what happens. Three. It's alive. I have some excitement, everyone. Wow. I'm going to make sure that the oiler is adjusted all the way up. It was already on all the way. We've got oil. It's late in the day. I want to finish this video up, but I plan on going and cutting up some wood as a community service thing. It's good big wood, and so I'm planning on taking this saw and my 7310, and I'm only bringing my 7310 just in case I have a problem with this, whether it be hitting metal or whatever. That's the only reason I'm bringing it. We won't be doing likely any comparisons, I don't think. I know that this saw is old news, but I am really excited to own this saw. I have wanted one really since I started the channel. I think they're so neat. I love the technology behind them. We talk a lot about simplicity. This is the epitome of simplicity. I also love the computer controlled stuff because frankly, I like to test stuff, and the computer control stuff eliminates tuning out of the mix. I have literally no idea how this system actually works. I've kind of seen some stuff. I've seen some diagrams. I've seen some parts on eBay. But really, I don't have a clue how these saws work. And I'm just excited to own one. But I can tell you this. The channel where I ran the muffler modded, or it has the West Coast Saws bark box on his 500i. Brock is not real good at maintaining his saw. He basically just runs the crud out of it. In fact, I haven't even looked to make sure there's an air cleaner in this. I probably ought to. Make sure it wasn't sent without like an air cleaner for some reason. Okay, we've got one in there. What a beautiful, beautiful piece of equipment. Look at this. Beautiful. Oh my gosh. Those look like really nice connectors. I like that. Really nice quality connections. Gosh dang. All kinds of people say you need like additional parts, like this foam squishes down and all that. But, you know, I'm just going to run it, everyone. That's interesting. You've got like a two-toned cover on here. This is the most I've looked at one of these saws. That's pretty cool, that quarter turn. I like quarter turn on here, but it wouldn't hurt for it to cinch down a little bit better from what I've seen. I better get off this video because I want to cut some wood. Make sure you check out sawsuppliers.com for all the best equipment. Use the code OAKIE10, O-A-K-I-E, to get the best prices. And if you're looking for chains, bars, two-stroke oil, all that sort of stuff, you also pretty well can't beat those prices as well. Make sure you check it out. Use my links. It's great support to the channel. Thank you for watching the Okie Woodsman channel, and we'll see you on the next one.